Good evening and welcome back. So, today I want to have a look at my AI a bit because I want to change a bit of behavior here. So, let's have a look at that. Let's jump into the AI and first just want to jump in here, the behavior tree, and go through it and see what is going on in it. Hello, how are you today? And then add a few things that I haven't known about behavior trees before. Because at the moment I am checking. The first thing I'm doing is going in and check if the player is inside, which on itself is okay. Oh, nice. But it has a few issues that kind of are part of how the census system works in Unreal, and I'm not sure if I really need that system for what I actually want to have here. I just want to the AI to be able to see the player and do something as a result. And what I'm doing here is just checking against the controller if the player is in line of sight. So at the moment I'm doing the check in the controller. So if we open up the controller, this is where this happens. We go for the AI perception and on target perception update. So if anything in that perception changes, I'm checking what's going on. So I'm checking if I successfully sensed anything. And if that is true, we saw the player. And here I'm checking if the actor that causes that update is the first person character. So then here I also make sure that the blackboard component is valid, so that this doesn't update or try to do anything before the behavior tree is loaded properly. It's just a check that I added in there. I'm not sure if I really need that, but then I am setting the player actor reference here, and I'm setting the is line of sight to true, and if we are no longer seeing the player, I'm setting all this to false. This doesn't work like that, or it doesn't work for me. I'm doing something wrong, so I need to either add more calculations here or change something here. And I was doing a bit of research and I found a tutorial that added so-called service to the selector here, where they did basically a calculated line of sight check and then set a variable. Because this is also everything I'm doing here. I'm just checking a variable. And there is a decorator for that already. And that's I think it's compared entries or cone check. Wait, what is the cone check? What does that do? Interesting. So cone origin be self actor. Cone direction. Okay, and the observed would be the player actor. From parameters check. Strange. Haven't played around with this yet. But this could basically we can use here, so if it's in there, but for the moment I want to do this differently. But I thought there was a decorator that was checking a value. Scroll down. Okay, so is equal to is not equal to. No, that's not what I want. Okay. So basically I need to make sure that I'm setting this in here so it can be checked properly every time, and then add something else here. Even though this here doesn't work properly as well. So if I have a look at this. And jump in here. Move this to another monitor for a second. I just want to test something. So if I run the game, I should be able to select which character I want here. Okay. So at the moment we do have the Westgate guard is our self actor, and she's doing a patrol run. Yeah, okay, she's not doing the patrol, but I deactivated that part because the patrol didn't work. So let's see if we can change this so that she's moving towards the player properly. So let's go here. So is she seeing us? Yes, but she's stopping and doing something else right after that. So this check here is not good. So like I said, I need to do my own vision check and set this as a service in here. So let's create a new service. What is this? Check line of sights. Okay, this is already something that I tried at some point and created, but it's not doing anything awesome. So let's keep that in there, but let's set this to is in line of sight. And let's try to figure out what we want to do in here. So we want to check if we can see the player. So how would you do that? I mean, the simple thing would, not simple thing, we could try to, can we do a line trace? Yes, we can. We can do a line trace here. And we can just check if we can see the player. So the start would be the controlled pawn. Get actor location. And the end would be get player character. Get actor location. So if nothing is between the character and the player, or the AI and the player. The problem is that doesn't take into account where the cone of vision is, basically. So if there's a line of sight in any direction to the player with this check, it would return true. Which is not really what I want. I want to have the cone of vision, kind of. So the start location would be damn it. Like I said, I watched the tutorial, but I didn't record everything from it or build everything in it, so I might need to check the tutorial real quick and see if I can find the situation there. So let's see, where is it?
Hello and welcome to part 4.
Sorry for that. Disabling the sound. Damn it. Okay. And this is what he created before. He created this vision check, which took, let's see if he's scrolling in there. Ah, damn it. He's zooming in there. And he's changing parts here. He's adding the line check over here, the line trace. Volume to her. A trigger. Yeah, the problem is I could do that, but that would be on the AI. Could add a component here, which would be the yeah, it could be a box collision. Let's move it over here a bit more. I'm using the broken mouse again, sorry about that. Because the thing is, it's only broken in Unreal, nowhere else. So we could use this to check if the player hits that box, then she's in line of sight, but I would need to make sure that everything else is ignored and it would be there for every NPC. And I'm not sure which is using more resources, if the line trace is using more resources, or if the constant checking if the item that is hit by the box is the player. I think this would be using more resources, because it would constantly check if anything hits this and if the thing that hits it is the player. But for everything else, which would be walls, terrain, trees, other NPCs, it would also cause you can add custom attributes to your NPCs. After trigger, then place volume trigger. Yeah, but wouldn't it still check collisions? Sure. I mean, the thing is, at the moment, come on, close this. I kind of have something like that in here. I debug, and if I simulate this, thing is, I'm having let's change this speed a bit. You can see this area around the NPC, and that's the built-in sense system. And the problem is, if that's what I'm using at the moment, and that doesn't seem to work correctly, or I'm not setting it up correctly, could also be the case. But you can see there is a vision cone on this. Let's pause this for a second. We have the inner circle is the area where we sense stuff, and then we have a kind of fall off circle where we don't sense stuff anymore, and then we have a cone inside that. Yeah, I know. That's another thing why I want to maybe remove this with something better. Apart from the fact that it doesn't really do what I want it to do. Let's have a look at the AI controller, where we have this. Let's stop this. And here we have control over the different radius and then the peripheral vision and stuff like that. No, I'm not working on triggering the dialogue there. I'm working on the base system for the NPC to sense the player or sense other NPCs to expand on the system later. And kind of sense it in a normal cone of vision in front of it. Because as I had this system set up on at some point, it sensed the player way behind it. And that's not what I wanted. I think I had this really big here. And this cone was also something that was a bit too much. Yeah, now the area there's that big, and if we pause this, you can see that the cone of vision goes from here to over here. It's not good to see at the moment. If I resume and pause it again, you can see it a bit better here. That's her cone of vision with those settings. Which look okay to me. Yeah, I could do that. But the thing is, I have the system in here that should be working properly. And I mean, if I stop this now and test her vision, basically. Let's jump in here. Every time the NPC notices us, there's a message there, sees player. Let's ignore that. Saw player. Now she's walking towards us, but she's not stopping. Okay, there was an issue that I couldn't sneak up on her. That's interesting. Okay, now it seems to be working. Okay, so maybe the cone of vision and the settings were not good enough for this to work. So now she doesn't see us anymore, but she's walking back to her patrol route here. Okay, so it was just the stupid settings on that. Even though she kind of should see us up here. I think that's something I can change with her cone of vision there. Okay. So, okay, the system basically works. Just need to fine-tune it. So, okay, we don't need this here, or we can move what we are doing here. No, we can't move that. Okay, let's not move to the player, but wait for a moment. Okay, so let's jump back in here and change the range. And change this here to maybe 90. It would be kind of extreme, but let's do that and see what we get now. Okay, both of them saw me. And now she doesn't see me anymore. Okay, she seems to be stopping, but I'm not sure if she's really doing something. So let's see if we can find anything here that would help us. Wait, can we do this? Do wave true? Not sure if we can do this, but if I set this up correctly, it should be possible. So let's see, what are we doing in here? So at the... Here we are setting do wave to true. It's part of the village AI controller. Nope. It's no longer here. When did I remove that? Strange. But if I remember correctly, then... Ah, damn it, which enum controller am I using? It's the female enum. And okay, we do have only is talking in here. But yeah, it's the same there. Yeah, okay, that feature is not there yet. Okay. Well, it's no longer there, let's call it that way. Because I changed the animation blueprint and all that stuff, so it's no longer part of that. I also don't know if we do have the wave animation here retargeted properly. Yeah, okay, this is our talk animation. Yeah, okay, I don't have the wave. Okay, so I need to retarget that to use it here properly. So let's see. Do we have anything like that? In here, animations in place. I have a lot of walk stuff here. Vault. Throw stuff. Pick up. Yeah, I don't have the animation for this pack here at least. And I'm not sure if I have this for my placeholders here. Okay, we have the waving. Let's see if we can retarget that. What would be this one or this one? I think it's this one. Even though there's some kind of rotation here that I don't like. So let's move this into the right folder. Animations, female. And retarget that. No. No. Ah, damn it. Why? This is not work properly. Maybe we could do this, so if she's there, then we'd play the female idol. Okay, so let's go to here, as a browser, female idol 3, and do wave. Okay. Then here. Even though no, we don't need that here, so we can just compile this and let's make this public. And in here. Set that. Come on. Oh, that's on the character. Okay, so I'm not in the right thing. So it's not on the controller, it's on the character. Is talking, is dressed, name known. Hello, how are you? Can do interaction. Is talking. Do wife. Name is already in use. Oh. Okay, it's already there. Delete that. Make those public. Yeah, those are anim states, that's correct. So we play montage. Okay, so I need a montage for that. Okay. Good function. I'm fine as well. I'm trying to figure out how to make my character hue wave. Okay, and then on the enum graph, I don't want run. State wave, and this is talk. And here we get the is talking is equal to true, and then put that in there. That's basically what we want here. If we can add that here. Let's do it this way. And here, if it's false, then we go back. Here we do that, I think. Yeah. Let's compile this. Okay, and in here we need to take this, do it again, set it to false. And see what that is doing. I think we might be in the wrong location here. Okay, so this is doing, okay, so they both see me and they are both kind of yawning, waving, whatever. Yeah, the problem now is that she's still seeing us. So, and that's the thing that I want to change. Try to figure out how to do, because she shouldn't see me if I'm behind her. So I shouldn't be in line of sight. So maybe the way I'm setting this line of sight here might be wrong. So let's see. We successfully sensed something. Yeah, maybe I need to add a check here. Kind of figure out the cone of vision here somehow. So let's mark all that. Move that back a bit. I want to check. So let's add another branch here. Okay, so if we successfully sensed something, then I want to check if it's in front of us. Yeah, but the thing is, hello. I do have a system that I can use, and that I can also use for different aspects. So for instance, I could change the system in a way that, okay, if we are not in line of sight, we might still be in range of hearing or something like that. Yes, and I want to use EQS as well. That's kind of what I want to do with it. I want to try out features of the engine. It might not be needed directly for what I'm doing, but I still want to try out all that stuff that's interesting. That's, like I said, that's part of why I'm working on this project, to test out different stuff. Might not bring me anything for the project itself, but I want to test out systems as well. And that would be AI perception. And after that, EQS and stuff like that. So let's make a big comment box around this. So okay, I think that was kind of the issue that, okay, now we sensed something and it is the player. And now I need to refine that thing, because at the moment I think I'm not even doing a cone check. I'm just checking, is it in that area that I defined with the perception system here. And yeah, now I need to kind of refine that and then see if the player is actually in that line of sight. Okay, so if that is true, yeah, then we can do line trace and check if the player is there. Oh no, we could even go a bit further and try something else. Trace. We could do multi-line trace. Not sure what that is doing. No, persistent for duration. Oh, okay, so no, okay, no, that's not. What we need. So not multi-line trace. Do we need anything here? No, not really. I just need the return value. And then we need the so for the damn it. We kind of need to do this math, I think. Just need to figure out the math actually was. Okay, it's not doing it in here. Okay, it's doing the actor location. Is that... Okay, that's the line to the player. Okay. Kind of things do I have here? Target perception. That's what we are doing here. We do the side. Something I'm not sure about is the why this is using the full radius, the full area around it. So hello, how are you? So why do we have the area here in the back? That's something I'm not quite sure about. I mean, we have the cone of vision there. That's good, but why do we have this in the back here? That shouldn't be there. I'm fine as well. Yeah, no problem. If you have work, then that's in most cases more important than watching someone trying to build a game. And being unable to figure out things like that. You can try, but you can definitely ask, and I can try to answer them. Let's call it that way. Um, but yeah, you can definitely ask questions if you want to. Okay. Yeah, I have to admit, watching other people work on games is quite interesting and fun most of the time, yeah. Unless it's some of those moments where you know what they are doing wrong, but they don't want you to tell them. Then it can be a bit infuriating. Okay. If you think so, then yeah. No, 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 it's not. No, that's not what I mean. That's not what I meant by that. Definitely not. I mean, most of the time I don't get what people try to help me with, but yes. But it's more fun if they're not straightened and we have a lot of spaghetti flying around. It's much more fun that way. And it's not about the notes and the spaghetti between them, it's about the logic that's underneath that. Yeah, okay, Blueprint from Hell is not just spaghetti, it's just really strange ways to do simple stuff. Um, as far as I understand your question, let me check something. Event graph. Let's stop this in the background. Um, so if you press down a key and something happens, for instance, toggle running. Running. What I'm doing here is, this is my run logic. So I press the run key, and then for the character movement I'm changing the speed between run speed and walk speed. That's how I do my running stuff. So if I press the shift key, then I'm switching over to running mode, and if I press it again, I'm switching back to walking mode. Which in my case is just the speed the player walks with. But if you want to add something like flying, so if you press a key, then the character flies. Yeah, you can just define an input key. So go into your settings, project settings, and then input, and then define your action mapping. And then you can do something like this. Which I have kind of turned off if the character is moving. So I could also just have this as a toggle. So if I added a key to this, then my camera rotate thingy that I'm doing here, which is setting relative location, rotation, and stuff like that. Switching to a third-person camera and all that jazz, which in-game looks like this. So if I'm not moving, exactly that camera fly around is happening. So if I'm not doing anything for a moment, then this is happening. And you could just set this to an input key and then do it there. Maybe set it up slightly better than I'm doing it, but it's kind of my idle thingy. I mean, if it's just camera rotating around the player, then it's just a switch in camera. You don't need to change anything in character movement. As far as I understand the question and what you want to do. I mean, if I look at my viewport setup, I have two cameras here. One is the first person camera, and another one is the third person camera on a spring arm. Okay. Let's see. I would need to check. How am I doing my movement here? So mouse input. Yeah, you would maybe add a toggle or add a branch in here. So if you press that key, you are no longer controlling the jaw and pitch input. So do your input do free camera and then add a bool into this and then kind of add this in front here. So I think I have something similar somewhere where I'm blocking certain movement. No, don't see it at the moment. Yeah, you can post a link. I don't have something like that in here. So let's have a look at that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing as well. Let's see here. I kind of already have something similar here because this is kind of tied into my idle rotation thingy. So for me, if the axis value for both of them is 0, then my is not looking around is true. So what you could do is kind of do a branch here. Have your variable you edit and then add that in here. And if that variable is false, then do the input only. And then set that variable in and then have another input event where you set that variable to true. Or you do something like this. If you press the button, do a flip-flop and then set it to true or to false. So if it is already true, it will be set to false and stuff like that. So it's similar to the running stuff here, but with a bool that is set to true and false, and then that would be added to a branch in front of the add controller inputs here. The only change is no, it would still you would still move because you still have your controller where is it? Would still have the other movement. It's just the mouse input. And yeah, here we have the normal movement input, which would still do the character movement and stuff like that. Yes, here's something that where I did that. I just found my thing I was looking for earlier. I'm doing the is climbing ladder here. Because if I want to do if I'm on a ladder, I don't want to move forward, I want to move up. And if I'm going back, if I'm going left or right, I don't want to do anything on the ladder. And if I'm going forward or back, I want to go up or down. That's what I changed here. And the ladder itself. Where did I add that? I think it's just a trigger on the ladder. Let's see. Blueprints. Ladder. Okay, the mesh is not there for some reason, but I think it still works. So I'm moving left and right, and I'm moving forward. And yeah, now I hit the ladder. And it doesn't work. That's good. Awesome. If I want to show something, that system doesn't work anymore. Awesome. Why is this not showing up at all? What did I do here? Did I completely break my system? I think I completely... No, not really, but the problem is there's nothing set up here for the ID. So static mesh materials. ID check where the damn ladder setup is. So 400, 116. Let's see. Do we get a ladder now? Yes, we do. Okay. Okay. Now I'm on top here. Can jump down. If I go back up to it, click, and if I go left or right, nothing happens. But should be able to go down again. It's not a perfect thing here, but left and right doesn't do anything. Up goes up, down goes down. If I click it again, I should break from it, but it doesn't work. So it's beginning of a system, but it doesn't really work. I'm not using it anywhere in the world at the moment, kind of as a result, because it's not working the way I want it yet. Yeah, but that's how I kind of changed the movement type here. Changed it to flying. And then I changed this to the up vector and fly up and down, basically. And I could also remove this branch here. And then I should be able to get off the ladder this way. Yeah. The only problem is at the moment I'm not doing anything. It's the beginning, it gets a bit of momentum, and then every time I use that, but that's because of setting it to flying speed. Or to flying movement. To be honest, I kind of like this. Not being... Yeah, so we've just... This here, if I move left or right on the ladder, you're jumping off. But like I said, at the moment I'm not using ladders anywhere, so it's a system I created at some point because I thought, hey, ladders would be cool, but yeah, I need to use them. So let's remove this ladder in here because we don't need it. Where was I? I wanted to figure it out. I wanted to figure out why my how to fix my system here. So we successfully sense that the player is somewhere in our sense radius. So now we need to check if he's in front of us and we can see him. And only then I want to set the line of sight to true. I'm not sure if we do need a line trace here again. I think we just need to figure out where is it? Yeah, we just need to figure out the line from we kind of need to figure out what's going on here. So the actor forward vector, something we need, and then I'm not quite sure if I need that part in that way, but okay, he's doing a dot product there. This is a tutorial I watched yesterday or the day before for a different kind of vision check. Kind of simplified way of doing that without using the sense system and all that stuff. Okay. Let's see. Let's build the whole system here as well. So we have the with the system we do have the receiver location and the stimulus location. So we already get the location for for the player and for the NPC. So we don't need to get those again, which means we need to do this. Wait, I think we need to do it this way. Okay, we get the player, and this is the actor, so stimulus minus AI, so receiver. Okay, that's what they have there as well. And then normalize that. And this is our then we need the forward vector. And this is here. And then we need to do a dot. Dot product. Then arc is inverse cosinus to that, and then check if this is smaller than this, which is, I think that's kind of his degree thing. So to create the angle, find the angle to the player in degrees, and then check if we are in the line of, in the cone of, he's basically building a cone of vision, and check if we are in that specific area there. So let's see, this would be And that would be up here. So if we sense the player and we are... I mean, we could also put an end here. I think that's even better. So if we sense the player and we do this, then we are in line of sight. Let's put this here just to test something, and then we need good controlled pawn. Root component. Yeah, let's try that. Because we're in the AI controller here. See if that changes anything on our system here. Okay, she's still doing that because in our behavior tree we told her to wait 5 seconds. Even though no. Yeah, okay, we are overwriting her complete movement here. Or the movement animations. Even though it should stop here already. Let's also check something else here. I had this cone check here, which I found earlier, but I'm not 100% sure if we might need another thing here for the cone direction. So the origin would be the self actor, the observed would be the player actor, and this is something I'm not sure about. The cone direction is doing. Okay. So let's keep this as none. And see what happens there. And remove this for a moment. Maybe we don't need this at all here, so let's copy this over here. Inverse that. And see if that's doing the same what we just tried to do. If that's the case, then awesome. But I kind of doubt it. Because I have no luck with predefined tasks and conditions and all that stuff. Yeah, no, this is not doing anything. Nope. Interesting. So it seems to be working. So that means all this junk in here we don't need. Because that's basically what we just overrode with that. Interesting. Good. So let's throw this out because we don't need it. Yeah, we don't need any of that. Let's compile this. Where we still have the undo option. Okay, for some reason so if we run directly in front of her, then it doesn't work, but can I visualize this somehow? doesn't work. That's strange. Okay, so this is gone. Awesome. Yep. But it did work earlier, right? Or did I just imagine that? Yeah. Okay, now we were in a... Okay. Let's... So, this didn't work. Maybe I need to set this back to none. Then it works. Let's test that. Okay, they walk past me, completely ignore me. Yeah, they... Okay, so this doesn't work. Awesome, and I deleted the part that worked. That's good. Awesome. Perfect game dev moment. Oh, damn it. Yeah, but not for something like this, where just 10-15 minutes ago implemented this and 10 minutes ago deleted it. So source control doesn't help us that. Okay. Why do we get strange effect there? Not sure. But you're right. You should use source control. It's always useful to have. I mean, there are a lot of graphical interfaces you can use for source control. So it doesn't need to look like command line stuff. Okay. So since I deleted the whole thing, let's create something new. Or not new, but let's do this in here. So we don't have that. So let's get the actor location, get the player location. Let's rebuild the system here. Is this normalized? I think. Okay. So we have that. And then we have the control pawn. Forward vector. On the controller. No, we should get the control pawn from this, and then. No, we need the pawn to. We need the controlled character, I think. Get controlled. rotation. And then we need to maybe cast this. To reject character here. Then get forward vector. Yeah, okay. So for that, what is it doing now? What the hell? Okay. Or maybe I was just using the wrong thing here. Maybe it's get the same thing from this, but yeah, we can get the same thing from that. We don't need this. Okay, I just didn't see that. So let's have this here, get the forward vector. And then we had yeah, okay. Setting it up can be a pain, that's true, yeah. So, was it for this to use the dot product? I think it was. And here we do this. Promote that to a variable. Context sensitive. Promote variable. This is the half angle. And then here we have this set to true. And if we go and set the let's duplicate this here. So this would be the line of sight key. Get that. spool. I mean, at the moment we can just pipe in this, but that would be the wrong value. Because we don't do any check if there's something between them and stuff like that. So we will always see the player here. Thank you for the following, Omar. What we can do is just so another variable I have in here. This is the distance. We can check if we are a specific distance away from the player. So if was it here? I think there was something like that. Get distance to. So let's use this back here. Yeah, damn it. And then we have the controlled pawn here. Yay for spaghetti. Okay, so now we have the distance, and if that distance is smaller or equal to our distance here, then we set this variable to true. So if we are in the view cone and the distance is okay, then this should be okay. But the only issue this is having at the moment is that we can see, or that the NPCs can see the player through walls, which could be a bit strange, but since we are not doing anything do any specific actions with it, shouldn't be much of a problem. Because the only thing I want to do here is stop this, and then it should be okay. Let's compile that and see if that helps in any way. So here, add this check line of sight. Let's remove those count checks that didn't work. And let's did I call it? Is player in range, or is it? Is it location? Is player in range? It's a bit strange, but it's okay. So let's add the player in range. Let's invert that. And let's test this now. Okay, so the line of sight key is in line of sight. The player actor key we don't really need, but let's set it to the player actor. Okay, let's see if this changes anything. No. They don't see me. They don't like me anymore. So that didn't do a damn thing. Okay, so why is the HUD reference not set? What's going on here? That's strange. It could be that I completely broke a few systems here, but that shouldn't be the case. Now let's not do this inside an exploration trigger. I want to see if that is the issue or not. So let's stay back here and see what's going wrong here, basically. Let's just stay here and oh, another I just noticed something. We do have both the distance and the angle here, but it should be public so that I can set those from the outside. And this is set to 0. So we need to be inside the character for this to work. So not what I had in mind for that. So let's set this to 500. Okay, that didn't change a thing. Sorry about that. So this is never set at all. Let's just try this and ignore the distance here. See if that does anything, and also ignore that and just do that. See if that part works or not. Even though the rest should work as well, but I'm not sure. Nope, doesn't work. I think that's good time to stop for today, because I don't think I managed to add anything. I think I just removed stuff and broke systems, but okay. I will be back tomorrow. Same time as scheduled. Hopefully a bit earlier if I can manage it. And I need to do a bit of research, and I need to just try the thing from the tutorial video I showed you earlier. Just try their complete system and see if that works, and then go from there basically. Could be that the tutorial is old and they changed a lot of stuff and it just doesn't work like that anymore. Or it could be a number of other things that are not working properly. So, see you tomorrow.